He has a few new faces around him, while Brazil looking for a few new heroes of their own with an absent Neymar. From the King Saud Stadium in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, it is South America's Super Classico, Brazil and Argentina, and it's next on beIN Sports. It is South America's Super Classico, Brazil and Argentina, and it's next on beIN Sports. It is South America's Super Classico, Brazil and Argentina, and it's next on beIN Sports.
¿A quién llevarías si pudieras llevar a cualquier
It is South America's Super Classico, Brazil and Argentina, and it's next on beIN Sports.
¿A quién llevarías si pudieras llevar a cualquier
It is South America's Super Classico, Brazil and Argentina, and it's next on beIN Sports.
¿A quién llevarías si pudieras llevar a cualquier
It is South America's Super Classico, Brazil and Argentina, and it's next on beIN Sports.
¿A quién llevarías si pudieras llevar a cualquier
It is South America's Super Classico, Brazil and Argentina, and it's next on beIN Sports.
¿A quién llevarías si pudieras llevar a cualquier
Tequila, Cuervo Tradicional since 1795, the father of tequila.
120 years ago, Christopher Columbus to build a better life.
Cuervo Tradicional since 1795, the father of tequila.
Giving a fighting chance to refugees to build a better life. It doesn't matter.
Cuervo Tradicional since 1795, the father of tequila.
Giving a fighting chance to refugees to build a better life. It doesn't
Cuervo Tradicional since 1795, the father of tequila.
Giving a fighting chance to refugees in the stands as well. A chance to cheer on their heroes, including the returning hero from suspension, Lionel Messi. Lionel Scaloni, a few new faces have stepped up for an Argentina squad that has actually played well of late. Meanwhile, for Brazil, they are the reigning South American champions, but they have not won a game since they won the title. Will tonight be the night? 68 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, low humidity, gorgeous night for football, but when isn't it? When these two teams will step onto the field. Phil Shane alongside Ray Hudson, and as the New Zealander Matt Conger leads the two teams out onto the field, what can we expect? It is the penultimate match of the year, Ray, and it is a mix of old and new, something borrowed, something blue, but what will the end result be for these two teams? What are they looking for tonight?
I know what we're looking for. We're looking for sparks that will lead to combustion, and I think we'll get it. Between these two eternal enemies, let's have it right. The bitter rivalries, despite the fact that they're exhibiting a friendly here in these confines, in this wonderful stadium that's sold out in record time. Once they found out Messi was going to be involved, this place sold out in less than 2 hours, which is pretty amazing. And they will be treated to an Aladdin's cave of footballers. But the rivalry is what sparks this. They don't like each other's colours, they never have, they never will. There's too much at stake in the pride department here for it to be considered anything less than a meaningful football match. The great Lionel Messi will not be facing up to the great Neymar. But on both sides, Phil, there is an absolute splendid collection of footballers. From Gabi Jesus and Firmino representing Manchester City and Liverpool on one side, and the PSG men on the other, Paredes and Arturo Martinez getting a start. The star of the show unquestionably will be Messi, a player who Tite said we can't contain him, all we can do is limit his extravagance. Well, good luck with that. We'll see what the great Argentine brings to this dance.
Fireworks from over the stadium. A few fireworks guaranteed inside as well. We are glad you could join us.
That's such a special night here for these fans. There'll be a lot more in this area of this sort of friendly exhibition, high status games ahead of the World Cup in Qatar, as the relationships hopefully can be salved a little bit between Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Good luck with that. But yeah, today we've got a wonderful match lining up, Phil. Alisson, the great Liverpool man, who's been inspirational since he moved to the red. Of course, started his football with Internacional in Brazil. And Thiago Silva, 35-year-old, and an absolute masterclass defender that is showing no signs of backing down or fading away into the sunset.
On this side, so you guys have the ball. Okay?
You can hear the New Zealander Matt Conger in the background talking to the two captains, and there is how Brazil will come out. Gabriel Jesus in that position he says he does not like, out wide on the right, but that actually pushes Willian to the left most likely. And Roberto Firmino, where you don't want to call it the dirty work, you don't want to call it the donkey work, because he's actually turning into quite the goal scorer, but he has always drawn his coach's favor by doing the hard work, and now it's paying off. Here a look at the bench, and talent on both sides, including the little jewel Paulo Dybala, who is starting to shine again.
Star-studded benches, Phil. See Philippe Coutinho there as well. There's so many interactions here. All these true magnificent footballers coming up against their own teammates. You heard his name being rung around this stadium right before kickoff.
Good look at the referee, Matt Conger, getting the call here today and getting us underway. The Brazil tour hitting Saudi Arabia and the King Saud University Stadium in Riyadh on a pleasant night. Temperature in the upper 60s. No wind to speak of. Phil Shane alongside Ray Hudson. Glad you've joined us. Diego Pesolano and Jaime Macias on our Spanish language side. An early challenge by Messi, poked free.
Two cough-ups there from Lucas Paqueta. One that nearly latched onto by Lionel. Perfect playing surface here. An absolute pool table. Another bad giveaway from Paqueta. Look out!
Chance for Messi to the inside. Battling for it. Martinez finally whacked away by Danilo.
Well, not sharp enough there, Argentina, to latch on to another terrible giveaway from Lucas Paqueta.
Less than 1 minute, and he's gifted three.
Magic.
Down on the other side, it's Jesus trying to cut around. Firmino gets the pleasant roll.
A minute in, and there's been more gasps and ohs and ahs around the stadium than probably it got reconstructed. Argentina had a great chance there to latch onto it, a little bit hesitant with the shooting boots to test Alisson from really good close range. Edge of the 18-yard box, passing on to each other. That's the Scaloni way it's been, Phil. They've been really a lot more coordinated. The Albiceleste a little bit more choreographed in their football since Lionel has been out of action. So
Ray, we've talked about that.
Always know that Messi is going to bring something, as Tite has explained in his press conferences. It's something ultra special. He is the Koh-i-Noor diamond of world football, and we cannot contain him. We can limit him, but there is a propensity for all teams Messi plays with to look to him first.
Ball stripped away by Ocampos, the new bright young thing for this Argentina squad. Voigt stepping back.
Hocus pocus there from Willian, another player who was playing at the top of his footballing tree, and it is a Sequoia. Willian for Chelsea has been absolutely magnificent. There we see the razzle-dazzle of the ex-Corinthians man.
Chopped down a bit to size by his Tottenham rival.
I was talking to somebody from Chelsea Football Club the other day, and I said, well, why do you explain the great resurgence from Willian? I've always been a fan of his, Phil. And it says, well, he always plays for Italian coaches. What do you expect? Now he's playing for an Englishman who is absolutely let him off the chain. Of course, Willian under Jose Mourinho as well was less than fluffing his footballing feathers, but now under Frank Lampard he is really playing as well as he ever has and drawing the attention of Barcelona. What a ball that is, again, wonderful from Andrada.
Ball forward, Brazil trying to get into the attack. Arter dispossessed, out for the throw-in. This is the 70th game for Willian, many of them under Tite, who also shares that favorable view.
Yep, a wonderful player.
Militao, Silva, again swinging to the left side of that center pairing. Real Madrid youngster getting the call here today. Marquinhos starting this match on the bench. Paquetá again holding on, and Messi almost pouncing. You can hear a bit of the gasp from the crowd here.
Yeah, Milan man has had a few rough touches going on. Started with Flamengo, of course, because Paquetá and his Mengao looking forward to the Copa Libertadores final. See if they can reproduce that great 1981 team, Phil, where they wiped the floor with one of the great Liverpool teams of all time, with Zico.
Former Riverman Lucas Ocampos a bit more of a concern today. Let's see how they play. Wide for Voigt. Again, it is a 4-back, even though he's more of a center back in his future. Andrada doesn't feel the pressure. Voigt getting the call here today on the right side.
And again,
Andrada calling off Otamendi. Gabi Jesus saying it was touched, but
great
no.
confidence from the Boca man. Yeah, you see it, you want it, no, you ain't got it. Dyson with death, Russian roulette, and I love it.
Argentinian roulette.
Nicely.
Into the area, blasted low, but not much on it from Jesus. Andrada, an easy save.
Yeah, pop gun power from the Man City man, ex-Palmeiras, is where he began his Brazilian football. What a job this man has done. 58-year-old, still a young man. 17th job in football.
A lot of trophies along the way, especially with Corinthians, but finally won his first trophy with Brazil, the Copa America this past summer, but he hasn't won a game with Brazil since. Laid out wide by Rodrigo, played back, an awkward bounce for Alisson.
Not the best ball from Rodrigo de Paul there for Lionel.
And a concern, Ocampos seems to be in pain. Might have landed on someone or pulled something on the way. Now he's back. And down goes Casemiro.
You got to start recognizing Pinocchios when you see him, Phil. Wasn't even a touch from Casemiro. That player's trying to get away with everything they can nowadays. Gone are the days where you used to be shouted at by your coach and your fellow players. Get up and roll and roll. Some surprises in the start for this Brazil team for me, though, Phil. Casemiro, man, he is being run into the ground by Zidane, and understandably so. The ex-Sao Paulo man for Chiche as well. Indispensable, unrestable, undroppable. Look at that pass.
And the fans appreciate it. Willian wide, threaded forward for Paquetá on the more comfortable side of the field, but good double team by Ocampos. It'll be a throw in deep.
Casemiro showing exactly what he brings to his dance. Wonderful sprayer of the ball. Underrated creator, this man on the ball. Not just a holding midfielder, not just a cork in a bottle, a proper footballer.
Again, he came up as a forward, an attacking player in his youth, but when he got to the actual tryout with the club team, he saw all of the Brazilian players that were lined up for attack. No one was playing defensive midfield. He said, I'll try that then. Sneaking it through Casemiro, but blocked away. Leandro Paredes.
That was great play between Firmino.
Here he is again. Tries to dance around Paredes' challenge.
Sparky.
Alexandro walking the chalk.
Wonderful quickness from the Liverpool man there. And he's
stripped away. Firmino back. Jesus. Down he goes, and a penalty is called. Petzela couldn't get out of the way, and Brazil heads to the spot.
Not sure what you mean by get out of the way, Phil. I think Petzela baits. I think he baits at the challenge and misses and gets player. We'll see in replay. But the Argentina man seems to dive in a little bit too quickly. Hesitant and dicing with death again is 1 point. The Tottenham Hotspur man commits harikari. Right there you see that's intentional and that is pretty cynical. And this looks to be dispatched by the man who got fouled, Gabriel.
Well, no Neymar, so Gabi Jesus looking for his 19th goal. Andrada, toes on the line, ready. Jesus rolls it wide! Unbelievable!
Scandalous in its approach, really. He's been hit and miss for Manchester City, and there's been an outcry from a lot of his people that he should be taking the penalty kicks for Man City. It's just, he does everything right other than put it in the net. How crazy does that sound? But he locks his eyes on Andrada, who doesn't blink till the last second, and Gabi's got to hold off to his last moment to guide it to whichever side, and a fish up a tree, penalty kick.
Well, that fish has been in the tree for a while. Think back to that Atalanta game as well. Ocampos with the ball poked away by Alexandro. The Argentine is down, but a clean challenge, say the officials.
Wow. This will be worth another look. Either this referee has got this one absolutely spot on, because to my live eyes, it looked like it might have been a very dodgy challenge. Let's take a look. It's wonderful play, beautiful give and go on the run. I think that's a good challenge.
I agree.
Yeah, from the side. Let's take another look. He leaves both of his feet right here, and that should be outlawed, because you can't be in control of a challenge when you leave your feet. But the referee, Australia.
New Zealand, same thing. Sorry.
Excuse me. No, far from the same thing. Sorry, Kiwis.
Down in for William. Foyt, who was victimized last time out. An early try for the normal right winger, straight to the goalkeeper.
Wow. Good tempo, huh? Friendly exhibition? Nah. Messi robbed. Crowd has been into it.
By the way, Ray, you talk about the misses for Gabi Jesus. He has now missed more penalties than he has made.
Yeah.
4 penalties made in his career.
Good ball.
None for Brazil. That's now 5 that he's missed. Here's Messi.
Oh!
Down he goes. Penalty the other way.
He gambles and he wins. He rides this challenge like a bucking bronco.
Does he overrule
brilliant
himself?
Messi at himself. He gets the ball, he recognises the space behind the defender. Most players will put the brakes on and try to cut back. Not Lionel, right here. Touches it past, and he keeps on running, and there's an interference there by Alexandro. Take a look downstairs. There's the first one, there's the second one. Messi tries to keep running, but it's a falta.
Kind of hard to run without your legs. Wasn't much, but physics did the rest.
Oh.
And now Lionel Messi.
Well, we called it a Chinese firecracker of a game to start. It has been absolutely wonderfully flamboyant, going both ways. Mr. Flamboyant himself, he's been spotty with his pancakes.
Messi denied, but the rebound put home. His 69th goal for Argentina, and it took a little extra effort.
Took great goalkeeping as well to keep the first one out. Allison, like a jungle cat on the line, Phil, reads the great Messi. Reads his eyes. Says, I see your full house, I'm going to raise you. Blocks it beautifully. But Lionel follows up just in case. Tough on the ex-international, man. That's a great save. That's absolutely magnificent from the 27-year-old. And by Messi's standards, it was a poor penalty kick. There's something about Liverpool and Messi that just doesn't quite click.
He was sprinting alone to get to the loose ball. By the way, that's something, again, in their wisdom, use your own quotes, the IFAB is looking to get rid of. All of the changes they put in this year, there's a couple that are on the horizon. It looks like a concussion substitution could be in place next year, but they're talking about, on penalties, if there is a save, no rebound goals. I don't know if I'm that much in favor of it, but Lionel Messi definitely isn't, as he gets his 69th goal for Argentina.
Let me ask you, is the intended change of the rule for the player taking the penalty kick, or is it for all players following?
I think it has anything to do with anyone, if I read it right.
I could understand it for the penalty kick taker. I'm behind that one.
He's got a 10-yard head start.
But not with his teammates. Well, great response from Brazil, and poor Gabi Jesus. Be thinking about that one and the other ones that you were documenting there, Phil. He's just been in a bad run of form for penalty kicks.
Again, 4 goals made, 5 missed for the Manchester City star. 0 for 2 for Brazil, if my figures are correct.
It's amazing, and you all talk about them being nailed on, but they're far from it. We've seen some of the greatest players in the world miss penalty kicks. And who would you think is the greatest penalty kick taker just currently? That's open for debate. I put forward a certain Real Madrid man, and he's a defender, Sergio Ramos.
He makes things interesting.
He decorates penalty kicks.
By the way, Lionel Messi now missing his 26th penalty in his career, but first to the spot. And from the Gabi Jesus penalty, it's kind of hard to get the rebound when there isn't one.